Hi guys, Sandy here. I thought I'd take you along and show you what I'm doing. There's a little place in my town, and it's just, the town's very, very small, and there's a little mercantile in there, a nice little place, and they do accept consignment items, so I thought I'd do up some and take them in there. So what I'm working on right now, today, is these little houses. I've went out on my miter saw and cut out the roofs for it, and the little, or the house and the little roof. And I've taken some beads and I just dropped them down in this watered down brown paint and twirl them around. I'm letting them dry, and I'll do the roof, these pieces here, in that too. And then I'll paint this up, and I'll go on my Cameo and pick out a saying to go on there, and I'll put it on there and put it all together, and I'll show you what I come up with. Alright, I have my little houses painted and ready to be stenciled, and I've brought this over. This is the designs I've decided to use on them, and I'm hoping this is not too small because it's going to be pretty small, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I'm going to send it to the Cameo, and I'm going to use the vinyl matte settings on this, and I am using the stencil vinyl for this. Alright, I'm going to send it to the Cameo and put it on there and stencil it out. Okay, on the houses, I decided to go, I went ahead and gave them a coat of the watered down paint, brown paint, same as the little roofs. And I'm using the Waverly plaster color. Okay, and I've put one coat on there, and I just kind of dry brushed it with one of these kind of chippy brushes. And I'll give it one more coat more in the middle, because that's where the words are going to be, and I want it a little darker. And then to kind of get rid of the brush marks, because I'm dry brushing and it gets a little more marks, I'll just put some fine sandpaper over it. So I wanted to show you, instead of painting the whole thing, I'm doing it this way. Alrighty guys, here's how the little houses turned out. I did use some jute at the top and tied the little wooden beads there. The stencil turned out real cute. There's one of them. And there's the other one. Alright, I'm going back into my craft room. I'm going to start on some other items that I've cut out of wood, and I'll show you them and overlook my craft room, because when I'm working, it's a mess. But I do want to let y'all follow me as I make a few things to take to this little consignment, or to put on consignment there in the mercantile. Alright, here's a few other things I'm going to be working on. I have this little rolling pin, and it's going to be double-sided, and I'll show you on my Cameo what I'm going to put on it. One side will just be for everyday use, and then you can flip it over and use it for Christmas. I have one of those on sitting on top of my stove. And then I'm going to make a little riser out of this. I cut this out, and I'm going to make a little riser. I'm going to put little feet on it. And I've already done that. This here. Here I'm going to do another drawer. I have a video on this drawer that I done. And I cut this one down a lot more. It was probably this long. So I shortened it a lot, because I noticed when I went to fill mine, the one I have in my living room, it took a lot of greenery. And that greenery is not cheap to put in here. So I'm going to be redoing this little drawer. Cut it all down. And then I've got a couple little risers here that I'm going to paint up and do with some little feet on them. And so far, I probably have some other things stuffed around here. I don't know. Oh, I have some. Let me get these little pieces of wood. Hang on. I have all these little scraps of wood here. I thought I'd do up some little boxes and put some greenery in them, paint them up and put some greenery in them, kind of set them on the risers, you know, gives people some ideas, and maybe a few other little things. But as I go, I'll show you. I don't know what all I'll fit into this video, but hang on, because I'm going to start working on it. I think now I've already got the base coat and the base coat on the rolling pin, so I think that's the next two things I'm going to start. Well, I have my rolling pin painted on both sides, and now I'm just going to give it a little distressing. I'm going to have to hold this up or I'll shake the camera. Just going to distress it some. I think I got a little, I think my paper's a little rough. Let me see if I can't switch something a little finer. Let me see. That's a green. Here's a yellow one. I'm going to try this, because that's a little rough, I think. Okay. Yeah, that's better. I just wanted to give it a little distressing on the edges. Not a lot. Go through the middle now. I think that looks good. Actually, I want a little more over here on the side. I don't know if I'm getting out of frame. Okay, I'm going to do that on the other side, and then I'm going to do the stenciling. Alright, I'm going to get this all weeded. Kind of hard to see. I think the R's right in there. I've already had trouble with one thing when I got it out of the Cameo. On my E, no, it was the B on the bakery, little tiny bakery, I think. Let's see if you can see it. I lost them, the center of them. I don't know, can you see that? So when I do this up, I'll just put, you know, I'll just dot it in. It'll work. This is the thing about weeding, it is hard to do because, not that it's hard, it's just you can't see. And I hope I'm still in frame. Of course, I'm not going to weed all this, but I just wanted to show you that I was doing this. Getting it ready. My rolling pin is drying right at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and get this ready to go when it's dry. And there's some little bitty pieces on this one. So I'm going to turn it off so I can get it up close to me and see it. I don't know if you can see the little, I don't know if it's showing, but there's little candy canes there and they have little stripes on them. So I need to be able to take that off without losing them too. So I'll be back. Okay, I have these all weeded and the transfer tape on them, and they're sitting here waiting for the rolling pin to dry so I can put it on and start stenciling it. Okay, I have it all wiped down and finished up. I'm going to put my, whoops, sorry, hit the camera. I'm going to put the stencil on. want to go up a little bit, over. I think that looks good. Get that down on there good. Bring it up. Okay. Save that stuff. Now, I've got to get my black paint and my sponge so I can stencil. I'll do just a little bit on camera in case somebody has never done it, so you can see how I do it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just using a makeup sponge. I used to get these from Dollar Tree, but the ones at Dollar Tree, they're just not any good anymore. They're just kind of a light-aired sponge. This is totally different, so I'm going to have to pick up some more from Walmart or something. But I just kind of dab off a lot of my paint and just start dabbing it on. I've made sure I've went down so I won't get any bleed. Get that down good. And don't have a bunch of paint on your brush or on your sponge and dab it up and down. It's dark as I really want it all over. And I'll just pull this off. You can do it while it's still wet, just don't hit your lettering. Oh, my husband's home and out in the barn, and Sam knows it, and he's in there whining. I need my thing. I don't want to scratch the... Well, come on. It's gonna come. Okay, right here is where I lost a little bitty piece there and there, but that's not a problem. I'll just take some paint and kind of paint it in. And I'll go on, I'll get this all taken off of here and let it dry. It won't take long. I'll probably hit it with my heat gun. And I'll let it dry and turn it over and do the back side so it'll be double-sided, dual purpose. One for every day, and then you flip it over and have one for Christmas. All right, I have it flipped over, and I'm going to do this side, and I'm going to start with the gingerbread, and I'm using a nutmeg on it. It's a little runny. Whew. Hope that doesn't sink on underneath there. Hope I have that sealed off good. And I'll probably have to give it more than one coat. And then I have some spots on this one that I lost also while I was cutting. Well, it was there, and then I was doing this, and the piece flipped, and I don't have a clue. I'm going to leave that there. Anyways, it's right in here. I have a piece missing, but I'll just do the best I can on it. No one will notice that a little bit. Now I'm going to go back in here with the Americana paint, and it's called Tuscan Red. And what did I do with my sponge? Because I cut the black off one. I didn't want to have to get another one, but I don't see it. Probably go over this red twice also to give it a little deeper red color. I'm going to finish on with this, and I'll tear it off after I give it 2 coats, and then it should be finished, and I'll show it to you. Alright, I wanted to show you where I touched that up. I just took a little bit of the background paint and just dotted that in on the B, and that fixed that. And then on this right here, this piece right here was gone, so I just dabbed a little bit right there. And I did forget to mention that I am going to put a coat of this Sweet Pickins top coat on it. You can use any top coat, any sealer. I happen to have this, so I'm going to use it because it is going to be in the kitchen and make it a little more durable. But I wanted to let you know that I am putting this on there. Okay, I finished it. I did seal it, and I wrapped some jute around the handle on each side, and that's what the front side looks like. And the back side, during Christmas time, that's the back side, so it's double-sided. That I'm making just out of scrap wood. I've painted them and then distressed them some. And these that I'm going to put on this one, the ones I'm going to put on this one, are just the little balls with the flat. My hands are filthy because I've been sanding. But anyways, the little round balls with the flat on it. I'm just going to eyeball them and glue them on. And these right here are from, I think I got these in Walmart. At Walmart, there was, I think, 4 of each kind. There was a little smaller one, and then this, and that's what I've chose, the little bigger one in the package, to put on that. And I'm just gonna glue them on with some, I have what's called the welder, or I'd use E6000 or anything like that. And I'm just gonna eyeball them and set them down on there with the glue and let them dry, and they will be done. Alright, I was sitting here with, working on some, finishing that up and gluing. I have these little strips of scrap wood, and I just thought, well, I'd try taking and angling a little tiny piece of scrap of wood and painting it up and putting something on it so it can stand up. It's going to be small. It's probably not worth my time, but I like it. If nothing else, I'll keep it for myself. I'm going to paint it and put something on it. We'll see how it turns out. Alright guys, that's going to finish this video up. So I did finish the little sign, and that's how it turned out. And the two risers, the little houses, and the rolling pin. And I'm anxious to see when I take them over to the little mercantile how they do. But for now, I've got to go back to my craft room and start trying to figure out what else I'm going to work on. So until the next one, we'll see you later.